Today we're going to be talking about how I got my autistic child talking. Simon, right here, is how old? 4. And when he was 2.5, he had a lot of words to say, but he didn't use them to communicate at all. You could say a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could, but he wouldn't call me mama, even at 2.5. What? But then he'd be playing with his toys and he would say complete sentences like, Mom on computer, and I like green car. Those were some of the first things I ever heard him say.
Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen. He likes Lightning McQueen. So to help him find his voice, to use his words to communicate, we're gonna be sharing a few tips from our home to yours. All this video is from our son Simon, or also our son Ezra, who is 9 years old and has level 3 autism. That is an example of doing sounds. One of the first things that kids learn is how to go back and forth with sounds. So they might not say, oh, this car is green. They might, if they're Simon. I mean, dinosaur's red, what am I thinking? But they might take their choo-choo train and go choo-choo, or their police car and go wee-oo, 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 right? So those are some of the first sounds that they make. And they're very distinct sounds. They represent a specific sound, right? So those are some of the first sounds that you can make. You can do that for them, that they can listen and then they can try and copy. Are you trying to eat them now?
Oh.
And we also have a free guide, 10 tips for better communication. You can get that in the link in the description below. Another tip is copying. So when Simon would say something, like, even if it's not a word, even if it's just babbling, I would copy the sound that he's babbling. This teaches him 2 different things. It teaches him to go back and forth, which is an important skill when you're doing a conversation, when you're asking questions and things like that. You're used to expecting a response from someone. Oh, that's the purpose of my communication, is to have you respond, whether it's a conversation or whether you're answering a question. So that really helps when they hear you say something right after they say something. And if you're saying the same thing, or if you're correcting them, maybe they say something slightly off a little bit and then you just say it again, but correctly, that can help them understand, oh, what they need to change. And then, especially if they're saying sounds, you can copy their exact sound, and that teaches them what it sounds like. It reminds them, oh, they're saying the same sound as me. So you not only get to enter their world, but they can hear what they're saying again, because you've just repeated what they say. So that's really helpful too. And you can see in playing this game with Simon right here, I do this quite a bit. I copy him as we play the game together.
Doggy.
Yeah, doggy. The doggy. Ruff, ruff, doggy, ruff, ruff. Arf, arf, arf.
Fire truck.
Fire truck. It's bright red. Okay, what's this word?
2.
2. Good job. You got that fast. What's this word?
A.
A. What's this word?
N.
Oh, that's so close. You got the A right. But instead of an N, there's an S. So it's is. Is. Good job. Another thing you can do with your child is to narrate. So if you're, let's say, buckling them up in their car seat, and then you shut the door, and then you get in the car and you turn on the car, and then you roll down the window, you can be narrating all these things that you're doing. And this, you can do this at a super young age. They are listening. Always, always assume intelligence with your child. Assume that they're listening, assume that they understand, because most likely they are. Even if they don't let it on. Even if they don't let on that they are, they most likely are. Oh, another game. Awesome. This one's a fun one. Cool. So you can narrate. And when you narrate, you can narrate things I'll give you some examples. Say, oh, let's play a game. We're playing a game. Are you taking that out? All of it's falling. Oh my goodness. So I just said he's taking it out and all of it's falling. And so I'm narrating what's happening. You can narrate things even if your child's completely nonverbal. Maybe they're just too young, or maybe they are having a really hard time finding their voice. We have an older son who's 9 years old, Ezra. He's been diagnosed with level 3 autism, and the levels just mean the level of severity, so that can change throughout their life. If you have a question about what levels of autism mean, we did a whole video right here where we talked to a doctor and he explained it really well. We actually learned a lot when we interviewed him, so check out that video. It's really awesome. It explains a lot about autism. So Simon is right now at level 1 autism, and that can change throughout his life. Ezra is not only autistic with level 3 autism right now, but he has apraxia of speech as well, which makes it incredibly difficult for him to form sounds, make letter sounds, and say any words. Does Ezra say mama sometimes? Usually when he's mad or really upset, trying to get him to do something he doesn't want to do. But he'll also say mama like in sweet moments when we're cuddling and things like that. But our 9-year-old has a hard time verbalizing how he feels and what he wants. So instead of putting pressure on him to do that with his apraxia of speech, which is very difficult, we give him other ways to communicate. Oh wow, you did that so fast. How does Ezra talk to us when he can't talk?
Playing with her cord.
He plays with his cords. He does. He also has an ACC device, an iPad, where he has an app where he can press pictures of things, icons that will speak for him. And he can create sentences. And we're helping him little by little to do that. He can also spell words. It wasn't that long ago, I asked him what his favorite thing in his school lunch was. I was like, what do you like? What do you want me to pack you in your school lunch? And he spelled pretzel. And so I was like, oh, I haven't been giving you pretzels lately. I didn't realize that you liked them so much. So I make sure to always put pretzels in his lunch, huh? But Simon here, he is level 1 autism with no intellectual delay. He does not have apraxia of speech. And so he is able to pick up and learn more of the verbal skills, huh? Yeah. But it did take a while. And so these tips really helped. One thing that we did a lot was we would stay with him and we would ask him questions like as he would play. So we'd stay right next to him and we'd be like, what's that? And he, most likely because of his autism, it could be other reasons too, but he has a hard time with the open-ended questions. This is a harder time. When he comes home, right? You're home from school and I say, what'd you do at school? And you're like, a lot of things, huh? You say that? You're like, a lot of things, Mom. Like, that's not the greatest question. Well, what kind of questions do you like?
Playing games.
Playing games. So if I say, did you play games? Then he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, what games did you play? So when I ask him questions that are easier for him to answer, then he's more motivated to talk to me. And we had to learn that the hard way. I didn't realize that I was asking such difficult questions. As we work on speech with Simon, we always make it a game, huh? We always play together. And it's things that he likes and things that he picks out. Do you want to play with the cards or do you want to play with the puzzle?
Cards.
Oh, okay.
What if we do the yellow one?
Okay. I know these aren't all the tips or ways to help your child find their voice and communicate with you. So put down in the comments if you have any more tips. You never know who you might bless simply by commenting below. So don't be shy and put down a tip for yourself. Thanks. Another tip to help Simon find his voice and start talking a little bit more was labeling. We would label a lot, huh? We still do. Is this a circle?
Yeah. No.
What is it?
It's a square.
It's a square. So to get him to label, sometimes I would just ask like, what is this? What is this?
A V.
V, good job. But sometimes if you do that again and again, it gets really boring and kids aren't motivated, huh? So sometimes I pretend like I don't know what it is, like in this video. Okay, And let's do one more.
I don't know.
That's okay. Do you know the first letter?
I.
Yeah. Do you know this letter?
T.
T, yeah. Do you know the sounds?
Yeah.
Okay. It.
It.
You knew it already? I didn't even have to tell you. Oh, wow. It. We post regularly of our unique normal. We actually moved into an RV full time and visited all the national parks. While we were in the RV, it was difficult for me to create a routine to be able to take out the flashcards and take out games. I actually had a whole bin for Ezra and Simon to help with occupational therapy and speech therapy and things like that. And I barely ever got it out, honestly. It was such an adventure. It was really fun. It was so good in many ways. But now that we are moved full-time into a regular house, we're able to have therapists come and help us. And we're very grateful for that. Ooh, I like it. Is that gonna balance? That's impressive. If you wanna see Simon's first day of preschool, we show that video here. And our autism playlist is here. Remember, if you have an autistic child, you're in good company.